Alright lads, so it's a new month and with that we have a new set of Limit Breaker quest to attempt today. This time around it is focused on the new end of year characters. Shunsui and also Aizen want to be used in the same team. Alongside that, for slot number 3 you can also bring in Ichigo. So overall, hopefully make a good team that is capable of getting stage 25 onwards. Now this team is going to go relatively well if you do have access to these characters for many reasons. For starters, since Shunsui wants to be used in slot 1 with technique damage times 2, melee damage times 2 and killer effect times 4, he's going to be doing a lot of damage here, especially with the fact he does have lacerate and also poison specifically on his SA2. So even though the frenzy plus 2 is annoying, for the context of Limit Breaker when you are up against Soribus, the lacerate, the poison will be adding extra millions of damage on top of that. And at least in his case, he does have killer effect here. So in the case of Aizen, for example, unfortunately, he does not have killer, but he is getting that 2 times damage bonus, that 2 times melee effects. But in his case, he does have Dominate, and Dominate is a very powerful stat as someone against Soribus in particular, because they do millions of damage to themselves once they are inflicted. And then slot 3 is the weird one, because they want you to bring a mind ranged character, which obviously in that case you want to bring 10th anniversary Ichigo. Why wouldn't you? But it's like, there's Quincy enemies when he has Human Killer. It's just a bit confusing. Because in that case, technically they then want you to bring Christmas, right, Sue? And you're not doing that. You're just not. You can bring Ishin though, and Ishin should be also a really good character, but he's not going to get that 2 times range damage. But then again with Ishin, maybe it doesn't matter all that much. In regards to the builds though, they're all pretty much built the same. The only difference here is that my Aizen is 1 out of 5, whereas the other characters are duped out. In particular, Shunsui is technically max transcended, but for the sake of this video, at least maybe the first run, we are going to remove the transcendence to technically perform like a 2-5 character. Now, the benefit with Shunsui, and I really hope we get to use him more in Limit Breaker, is that he's going to add a lot of damage to our team. Because by having him in the team, we are going to get 30 SP, and then we are also going to get 30% more damage to other characters once they do inflict a status ailment. So you're not really going to see it much, but he will be adding a lot of extra damage to our teammates. And I'm curious to see how this is going to play, or having damage characters like Shunsui be also good support characters. Because right now, stuff like this is only seen for normal attack damage characters. Nanao, for example, has the same benefits, but you're not really going to take Nanao into Limit Breaker. One thing to keep in mind though with Shunsui and also Aizen is that they do not have long stride. In content like this, you want to give them long stride. So Shunsui is taking the Yoruichi EX skill, and then Aizen just has long stride built in through bonus abilities. So with that said, let's see how this does go. So positioning is pretty decent. I think we can probably take out that entire room with 1 strong attack potentially. With Aizen, it looks like this room, 2 strong attacks at most. That's fine. 1 strong attack, 2 for this room as well. Maybe we can change it. Oh, hold on. Let's make sure we don't take any damage here. This room's a bit straightforward. Keep in mind, it might not look like it, but my RB is broken, and I do use RB for a controller to flash step. So for some reason now, it's not flash stepping. I'm being held back by my controller. I'm spamming RB. What's going on? I probably need to change the button. It comes and goes sometimes. Hopefully this doesn't ruin the run. Right now it's looking like it. Come on, let me flash step, please. We'll see how it goes. SA2 gets all our strong attacks back. Can I flash step, please? What's going on? Right, SA2. At least we don't need the flash step now. Just keep the enemies in the corner, constantly inflicting stars. Unfortunately, it doesn't like all the enemies go hit straight away. So there are a bunch of enemies now that are dying a bit slower. But you can see, getting a lot of good damage there from the EX skills. Sorry, the lacerate and also poison. Can I please flash step? Come on. I need to change the controls. We'll keep it going. SA3, SA1. All the enemies right now are millions of damage, or hundreds of thousands if anything. Unfortunately, with Frenzy plus 3, you're going to be a lot more consistent in terms of inflicting star elements compared to maybe a character like Giselle, who is a Frenzy plus 2 character. Can I really not flash step? I mean, SA1? Please! It's not working. My controller's broke. This is going to slow us down so much. We might as well put movement speed on our characters right now. Fortunately, in this case, some of the enemies did get inflicted with star element. You know what? To be fair, the HP looks a lot lower here. Because even though we have worse damage multipliers here, we are doing more damage when it comes to Ichigo compared to like the last phase where they wanted to use him in wave 1 or slot 1. Come on, man. I literally can't flash step. I'm being nerfed. I am being nerfed. Look at this. We're forced to watch. I mean, technically, Aizen's flash stepping, but not really. Let's just, I guess, see how far we can go without flash stepping. Again, you probably want to use Ishin. Now, you probably don't want to. The benefit is that Ichigo does have all those immunities. Okay. I didn't realize there was a third wave of enemies there. Okay, it's starting to work a bit better. It's SA2. Yeah, we're probably going to change our control scheme in the next run. Maybe when I do the Max Transcended Shunsui run. But right now, it's like, damn, I don't even know what button to press instead. Maybe we have to try mouse and keyboard. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. SA1. This is a stage at 16. SA2. Probably didn't need to use my SA2 there, to be fair. So we do want to save our someone for stage at 25. SA1 upwards. Again, love that we do have the poise break. So we just keep all the enemies in the corner. Don't have to worry about them whatsoever. And then SA2 to hopefully finish them off. Yeah, look at that. Look how much damage that's doing. That's insane. We probably didn't even need to use our SA2 there. Sorry, strong attack 1. We could have just probably killed with the... Unfortunately, enemy got pushed back. No attack string finishes up. But when I can't flash step, it's sending me backwards. Let's EX now. In case, because right now we're losing a lot of time on flash steps. We're going to use the EX just to guarantee inflict dominate. Let me back up. Do not take damage. SA2. Fortunately, does inflict because I cannot dodge these enemies right now. 3 million damage is crazy. On the damage they are doing to themselves. Again, Limit Breaker does change HP depending on the character they want you to use. So when the higher it gets, the better damage over time status elements are, because then they just add millions of damage on top of what you're already doing, right? Guess we can use our EX here. Just to guarantee a status proc. I thought this stage would be a lot more difficult with Ichigo. Because, again, no status infliction increased chance, but it's actually been pretty fine with him. Especially with the EX move. Unfortunately, damn, okay. I am getting absolutely nerfed. Oh, now it wants to start working? Right at the end? Really? It's literally working again. Oh my god. It's a bit inconsistent, but it's working. Last runes. I mean, it's kind of funny, though, that we're still making it to stage 20 plus, even though we have no flash step button. I mean, at this point, I probably should use my... Can I just SA2 here? Nah, let's soul bomb. Can we get to the next room? No, we can't. Okay. That was a decent attempt. Funny enough, I think getting to stage 22 does get us all the rewards here, but we can get further than that. We can get further than that. All right, then, so let's try that again. This time around, we've gone ahead and fixed our controls. I'm using LB, which, by the way, I do have an Xbox One Elite controller, which has always had problems with LB RB for some reason. Normally, RB is fine. That's why I do use that for flash stepping, but even the LB seems a little bit inconsistent for some reason. But it is still much better now that we can actually still do something. In this case, unfortunately, not enough to kill that room with 2 strong attacks. I think I need to aim my attacks downwards. This is also quite an annoyingly big room for Aizen, because he doesn't have any beams. But it's fine. We should still be on track for stage 25. SA2 apparently can kill both waves there. We'll keep that in mind next time we go. Damn, what are all these enemies dodging us right now? Let's go up. SA3. Fortunately, I do hit some of the enemies there. Not definitely the best strong attacks to use, but keep in mind this is also still a 2-flash Shunsui. We will do the 5-5 run next run. Let's back up. SA1. SA2. Really hope here, when you use the SA2, the poison does proc. Or just the status on proc in general. What is these enemies dodging me? Because that's where a lot of damage does come from. If you don't get that poison proc, it's going to be a bit unfortunate, but not that big a deal. So right now, they're going to do millions of damage to themselves, which is going to chill. Use the strong attacks when the status element wears off. Hope we don't take damage in the meantime. And then the enemy, 2.2 million. On wave 8 is crazy. If you don't have the characters, it's going to be a lot more difficult. SA2. 1. I do like that positioning there that we get to use like pretty much 2 strong attacks before the box does lower our cooldowns there. Again, even though we can't inflict status elements reliably, Ichigo is still doing a pretty good job, and we're still killing them relatively fast, regardless if we inflict status elements or not. So SA1 into the 3. Again, I think I can take out that entire room with just 1 strong attack. SA1 takes them down. SA2 takes those enemies down. So I think we're looking good on time. Again, normally for stage 25 plus, you want to clear with like 3 minutes to go, going into the next rotation, which currently we are in. So I need to position that SA2 a bit better. Fortunately, it did dodge that without flash stepping. That would have been annoying if we got hit. That's SA3. SA1, not the best room. These paralysis pulls are also quite annoying with that like flash effects. Kind of saw that today in Guild Quest with Aizen, who performed relatively well. And then just one strong attack to take them down. Need to fix on that room. Do a better layout. So right now on stage 16. So it's SA1 upwards to that kill. Let's try and bring them closer. That when we use our SA3, we do hit those enemies. SA2. Into the 1. Use our no attacks when we can. Looks like right now all of them have been inflicted by the stat elements. Fortunately, despite the frenzy +2, doesn't seem like the stars infliction is much of an issue right now, at least for Limit Breaker. For Guild Quest, it's definitely noticeable. But that's when everything needs to go perfect in that content, you know? Let's just use our Vortex. Just to guarantee extra damage here. Maybe I could save the Vortex for the later room. Unfortunately, down we took damage. That's like the annoying part with these enemies. But right now, our main goal is to get into 25. So Aizen, technically, we won't need to use in a big stage just yet. Maybe next time around. We'll save the Vortex. Let's use our EX now. Just to guarantee a stars proc. Unfortunately, not the best timing there since we have to wait now for all the strong attacks to come back. And the SA1 doesn't fit the stars down. That's annoying. It's SA2. Right, a minute and 4 seconds to go. Can we get into the next stage with our Soul Bomb? Might not even need to use the Soul Bomb, to be fair. I think Aizen's going to be a bigger issue right now because we did take damage. Yeah, see, definitely noticing the damage fall off once we do lose a bunch of our full stamina. Unfortunately, Team Heals would really love for that Soul Trait, not Soul Trait. EX skill that's coming out in a few days. New free character. Would really love if that was an attribute for every attribute, you know? Or an EX skill for every attribute. Right, SA2. SA1, does that kill? Unfortunately not. Yeah, the SA1 annoyingly pushes back for some reason. I don't know why. I noticed that today in Guild Quest 2. Right, fortunately, the SA1 does take down those enemies. That's definitely a much better position to be in. Here we go with Shunsui. Let's SA2, SA1, and then right now someone. To be fair, that was dumb of me. I should have done my trigger boost effect. I did not consider that right now. I kind of forgot about it. But we might be good. I think if we did do our trigger boost effect, we actually would have won here. Despite us actually ruining the run a little bit by taking damage with Aizen. So, I mean, we still made it to stage 24. 25 is definitely possible with this team. Just do the trigger boost effect, something that I just did not do with Shunsui. If we did, we would have had our strong attacks back, would have done a bit more damage, more chance to flick stat elements, and that would have got us into 25. Now, for our next run, just because we are here, and we are in a situation where I do have the character max transcended, let's go ahead and max transcend the character. Now, to be fair, with characters like this, where for Limit Breaker content, a lot of their damage comes from status elements, like Lacerate, I don't think having it max transcended is going to change that much, but I might be wrong. Alright then, so let's see how this does go. So can we kill the entire room with one strong attack? Potentially. There was 2 enemies left over, so maybe if I move it forward a little bit more next time around, if I have my strong attack full ready, that should allow us to get into, just to clear that entire room with one strong attack. Same with this one. I think using my SA1 is definitely better there though. SA2 can definitely take out both waves. I just need, yeah, this is horrible right now. Horrible start, but we'll make up for it though. So SA2 there, yeah, that was a horrible start. I probably should restart since we are still like early into the run, but we'll just keep it going. Because I think no matter what, this team is going to be capped on where it can go, unless we do get more Transcendence in Ichigo and also Aizen. Right now my goal is just to get into stage 26, which we know is possible, because we did it with almost 2-5. We just made some mistakes. So again, fortunately everyone got inflicted with all the stat elements. There actually not one enemy took a hit. So that's going to be a bit annoying when an enemy does take a hit. But then again, they all pretty much die around the same time. Didn't make that much of a difference. SA2 going into this stage. SA3. Fortunately, everyone gets hit here with the star element. Again, it's a bit annoying. Sometimes you kind of misjudge whether an enemy gets inflicted with star element or not. dominate, and then you end up taking a hit. So again, that one enemy did not want to get inflicted there. But this time they are. Just a few more hits. And there we go. They actually ended up taking themselves down. Dominate's been a really fun starsman, I will be honest. I do like it. It's just a shame that you can't really get the most out of it in epic raids. Like, I understand the idea is that some starsmans just can't be inflicted at a certain time because it would ruin the boss mechanics or the attack pattern. But it's such a shame that you can't even inflict a single starsman. Because all these dominate characters are some of the best characters in the game. Some of the best characters in the game, but get held back. At least in epic raid content. Because you can't even get a spiritual pressure boost. And thus far, every dominate character has been given 100% more damage to dominate enemies. And they just can't take big use of their whole kit, pretty much. Now, for some reason, my LB is not working. Listen, it's not a skill issue. Right now, it's a controller issue. It is just messing up today. Maybe if you are wondering to buy a controller, don't buy an Xbox Elite controller, or don't do what I did and bind the flash step button to LBRB. But yeah, literally right now, it's just not even working. That's SA3 here. Nice, it does take down both waves. So SA1. Let's back up. Don't want to take any damage there. Didn't hit any enemy there, but it's fine. So we could activate the trigger boost. We're not going to do that. SA1 and then SA2 it should kill. Just a few more hits. There we go. Normal attack string finishes those enemies. Again, the idea that 25 is going to be our cap. We will now use our EX boost. Or EX move, sorry. Was a bit risky there getting so close to the enemies. Knowing that there was no guarantee the button would work. But it did work out just fine. Let's make sure we don't take any damage. Okay. Just one more hit from the enemy, please. There we go. All right, looking good. Let's use our EX now. That was also a bit risky, but it does work out. Does inflict all the enemies with paralysis, and all our strong attacks took advantage of the SP boost. SA1 into the 2, and there we go. 1 minute and 14. Not too bad. Let me flash that, please. I think right now we are looking good on time. Horrible strong attack usage there. Kind of thought there'll be an enemy in the middle. Also bad placement. Should have used my strong attack 1 from the top left. Let's just SA3 here. That feels a lot better. SA1. Let's back up. Just make sure we group all the enemies with the SA1 there. Because we are going to use 3 strong attacks here. Fortunately, we are still killing with 1 shot. Little bit left over mobs, but it's fine. We only need like 10 seconds, I think, in Ichigo stage. Or Shunsui stage. Can we SA1 downwards? Yes, we can. Lovely. And right now we are on the Shunsui stage. Make sure we don't take any damage here. We have plenty of time to spare. We're chilling. So let's use our SA1. Wait for the SA2 to come back. SA2. Then we use our SA3. Then we sub 1. All our strong attacks are back. We'll use the SA2 last just because the poison should wear off. There we go. And then SA1. And they're pretty much all dead. So that's a situation where the trigger boost effect can actually be quite useful. But then again, we were going to clear this stage regardless. I know there's a max transcended Shunsui, but like I said, I don't think max transcended Shunsui makes that much of a difference for Limit Breaker content, because a lot of damage does come from the status augments. In that case, we were able to clear stage at 25, regardless of Shunsui's transcendence level. Keep in mind, right now, I was being nerfed by my controller just not wanting to flash step. So overall, pretty decent. My goal most of the time when it comes to Limit Breaker content is always to get into stage 25, whether I have the new characters or not, if it's possible for me. Sometimes, based on Transcendence, it's possible to get further than that, but I'm perfectly fine right now with stage 25 with my particular characters. And we also got all the rewards there, so right now, looking at my Transcendence numbers, how much am I saying at right now? 4.2 million. I don't max Transcend a lot. I've also now recently cancelled my passport, so my Rainbow special move sources are going to slow down. Fortunately, I do have a lot of move sources. And we have a hot one in the point event, which we will talk about soon. So I gotta make sure these special move sources last me the year 2026. But I was also fortunate that the characters I did max transcend this month more so, Giselle and also Shunsui, didn't take that many transcendence points to get the desired role. Either way, that's the video for today. Hope you liked and enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.